What's going on, y'all? Chris Williams back here with another podcast. Going to be doing a review of TLC. Man, I think someone in WWE was listening to my last podcast because I clearly stressed that I wanted to see better quality matches. If you ain't gonna give me nothing else, just give me the better quality matches. And man, oh man, oh man, these motherfuckers delivered from top to bottom. I can't remember the last time I've been impressed with every single fucking match in WWE, in a WWE pay-per-view. And it lasted damn near 3 hours. I'm just astonished, man. I give it an A+. So with that, I want to jump straight into it. So we had Orton versus The Fiend. That was the last match, but that's where I want to start at. It was a Firefly Inferno match. Now, these two, they've been building a good storyline, you know. Orton has been known as the master of the fucking mind games. But I feel like Wyatt won the mind game battle. When they got into the ring, Orton was throwing punches. It wasn't affecting Wyatt. You know, kicking him. Just, simple stuff that would normally affect a regular superstar. It wasn't affecting Wyatt. And then, they back and forth do their thing, using weapons, getting near the fire, trying to hit each other. Wyatt, he lit a strap and something else on fire trying to hit Orton. He even put a chair right there, threw one in the chair, and tried to burn Orton that way. For y'all who don't know, Inferno match, the only way to win is by putting your opponent on fire somehow. So anyway, some point in the match, Wyatt got into the ring, and he was like, he just taunted Orton. He raised his hands up, kind of like the Undertaker would do when the lightning strikes, and then the fire rose up, and I saw like a fear in Orton as that I've normally never seen. Now, this was a back and forth match. I ain't know who was going to win this match, to be honest with you, man. So, like, some of the key highlights that I got from the match, it ain't too much I got, but it was like, the Fiend went for the mandible claw, which is his special, and he tried to put Orton to the fire. Orton turned it around, but he was still in the mandible claw, and Wyatt got caught on fire. So Wyatt was still standing. Orton went to the ring. Wyatt jumped in the ring with all the fire burning. Then he RKO'd him, and the match was supposedly over right there. So after that, Wyatt was landing in the middle of the ring, and Orton was just staring at him, checking on him. He was kind of concerned. I mean, they're still human. Obviously they have a character to play, but they're still human. So he just kept looking at him. And then, like in the past, I've seen Wyatt kind of get up here, raise his hand up, and maybe catch him off guard or something, and then choke the person out. But this wasn't the case. He just laid there. So Orton went and got some gasoline, poured it on him, and I didn't think they was going to let him do it, but he lit the man on fire, and that's how the show ended. Then, he did his signature Orton, And I was just really impressed. I thought that was a good match. It was a crazy match. I didn't think it was going to end the show, but it was a good way to end the show. So now I want to jump into, we had 2 TLC matches, both for titles. So we had Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. That was the first match. Now, I didn't expect this match to start the show, but it did not disappoint. Like I said, none of the matches disappointed. So Styles, he was attacking the man's knee. This was for a title, if I didn't mention that. He was attacking the man's knee. I thought he was dominant at times. It was a good back and forth match, They was throwing each other through tables and ladders. Excuse me, y'all. And I really did not know who was going to win. And then I remember, I think if I'm correct, it was AJ. He climbed the ladder. Or maybe it was one of them, I can't remember. And then The Miz came out. Matter of fact, it was Drew. Drew climbed the ladder. The Miz came out, cashed in, and he powerbombed McIntyre through the table because right before that, AJ Styles was thrown through the table by McIntyre. So Styles was thrown through the table by McIntyre, and fucking McIntyre was thrown through the table by The Miz. So now it looked like The Miz was going to win this match. Him and John Morrison was out there. So now AJ's dude, Omos, for all I don't know, that's the tall black dude. He came to the ring and he got Miz off the ladder. He threw Miz through the table. John Morrison, he hit him with the steel chair, just cracked on his back. So then he left out the ring and he took Omos away. And a fun fact for all who don't know, Omos used to be the security guard for Shane's Underground. And like I told y'all last week, I joined this wrestling group. And one of the people pointed it out to me, and they're just like, oh shit, I ain't paying no fucking mind. I don't know how it slipped my mind, but anyway, that's what happened there. So at some point, maybe 5-10 minutes down the road, McIntyre got up, he seen Styles and The Miz on the ladder. They're both climbing, trying to win the title. He pushed him off. He Claymore and The Miz, and he retained his title. I thought it was a very good match. Like I said, I was happy that The Miz lost. I'm so sick of The Miz. I'm so glad he didn't win. And I know I ain't the only one that feels that way. So the other TLC match was we had Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Y'all give me one more. I'm on the wrong page anyway. Here we go. And y'all know Roman Reigns come down with Paul Heyman as a TLC matches for the title. So Kevin Owens, he blindsided Roman, caught him off guard, started attacking him. And I said to myself, how long is it going to take for Uso to come down there? Because I wonder, can Roman do it himself? And within like 3 minutes, in comes Jey Uso. So Jey Uso, as I know, it's attacking Kevin. He goes to super kick Kevin. Kevin hits him with the steel chair, and I thought he broke his ankle. They carried him out in the ring. From there, the matches got crazy, man. It was just so much shit going on all at one time. So before Uso left, he was powerbombed through the table. The Owens was powerbombed through the table. Then through the ladder. Then he was powerbombed through a table. Then he was put through another table. Then he was Samoa dropped through a table. Then he was speared through a table. And the dude just kept coming back and said, this is one resilient motherfucker, man. It was crazy. So then, at some point in the match now, you know, this shit kind of predictable. Owens was by the barricade. So I said to myself, Roman is going to try to spear him through the barricade. So Owens baited him. He was like, yeah, come on, Roman. And he did it, but he went through the barricade himself. Roman did. So then we thought KO was going to be able to have a chance to win the match. And here comes fucking Uso again. It was just so fucking crazy, man. He came in there and then he saved Roman. He got the stunner. Then Roman used a low blow and the guillotine and choked him off the ladder. But take nothing away from Kevin Owens. That was a valiant effort, man. He gained all my respect. He fought against the odds. It was 2-on-1 for damn near half of the match. So big ups to you, KO, man. I personally didn't want KO to win the match. I don't know why. I just felt like Roman, even though I ain't a big Roman fan, I feel like he should keep the title. I think it's what's best for business. And especially if they're going to have to feud with him in The Rock at WrestleMania. I want to see that at some point. So now, let's see what we got next, y'all. I was so excited. This was a very good pay-per-view. So, we got Sasha versus Carmella with Reginald. Well, I said I don't really watch SmackDown, keep up with SmackDown, so I don't know too much about this Reginald guy. But Carmella, she was looking really confident, man. I was surprised because this ain't the same Carmella that when I last watched SmackDown that I remember seeing. And anyway, maybe, like, the match was a good match. It went back and forth. I wasn't really sure who was going to win because Carmella was doing her thing for the majority of the match. She showed a lot of resiliency. So did Sasha. But maybe 10 to 15 minutes into the match, Melly got frustrated, and that was her downfall. But that was a gritty performance by Sasha. Carmella threw everything she had at Sasha. And like I said, that dude, Reginald, kept getting involved in the match. But I take nothing away from Sasha. I'm not the biggest fan of hers. but she can wrestle. She can deliver. I remember when I was watching the show and they said that no one can counter like her. She's really good at her counters. She can transition like no other. She's very good. She's a very good wrestler. Take nothing from her. So this might have been the surprise match right here. We got Hurt Business versus New Day. Now, let's back it up a couple of weeks. So, Hurt Business has been in this rivalry with New Day. They've been trying to beat them for the title. They fought them for the title. They lost to them twice in one night, so maybe 3 times they fought for the title and lost. Anyway, this is another title match. So we got Cedric and Shelton versus Xavier and Kofi Kingston. And y'all know Big E's on SmackDown. Now, the New Day, they started off on fire. They were showing why they were 10-time tag team champions, why they had the record for the longest reign with 483 days as tag team champion. They were doing a lot of tandem offense, man. It was just a good match, man. I was really impressed by how good this match was. But then it got to some point where Kofi was on top of the rope. Sheldon came up there. He scaled the rope. Guess he did like a suplex off the rope, and Kofi landed funny. And Shelton was getting ready to end the match. And then Cedric tapped himself in and hit Kofi with the lumbar check, and they won the match. I was shocked that the New Day lost. This was a very good match. Like I said, it took them 3 or 4 times to finally win the titles. But at the end of the day, I still don't like Hurt Business or respect them. But they do hold the tag team titles now, the U.S. Gold. I don't see them getting the heavyweight title because MVP, he's a piece of shit. He's not a good wrestler. He wasn't a good wrestler when he came into WWE doing that ball and shit with the little crusty-ass braids. And he's still not a good wrestler now. I mean, he's a little smarter, a little wiser, but that's about it. So, like I said, I thought that was the match that stole the show him out. They didn't steal the show. That was one of the surprises. My bad, y'all. I'm talking a little too fast. I'm really jacked up about it. That was a good pay-per-view. This has nothing to do with the podcast, but am I the only one that think Asuka, little weird, crazy ass, is so hot? I don't know what it is about Asuka, man. She just... something about it just turns me on. Anyway, I digress. I just want to say that. So we had Shayna and Nia versus Asuka and a partner. Now, for all who don't know, Lana was supposed to be Asuka's partner, but nobody really likes Lana. That's just my opinion. Lana's just in the way. Anyway, Lana got hurt, supposedly. And Asuka had to get a mystery partner. Now, her mystery partner turned out to be the one person I did not want to see, Charlotte fucking Flair. Now, as I was watching the match, I started thinking to myself, Charlotte Flair come back, nobody knows about it. It got me wondering, did they have Lana get hurt on purpose so that they could bring Charlotte back out the blue? Maybe for ratings, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not a fan of Charlotte. I can't stand Charlotte. I will admit this. During the match, she did fucking look like she was in good shape. She looked fresh. I give her that. I really do give her that. I really, really, really do. But to me, that's how I just felt. But I take nothing away from her. She's a 12-time champ. I thought it was a good match. It went back and forth, you know. Nia and Shayna did it to themselves because they took out Lana. They didn't know who her partner was going to be, being Asuka. And Charlotte surprised them. And Asuka and Charlotte are the champs. And who would have thought that Asuka and fucking Charlotte would be the fucking champions, man? Because for all who don't know, they had a rivalry. Charlotte ended her win streak at WrestleMania. Asuka was undefeated for like 900 plus days. Charlotte has called Oscar, I'm sorry. I'm saying Oscar like from the Proud family. She's called Oscar her toughest competition, and Oscar ain't no joke. So I'm looking forward to see how that angle plays out. I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like that he thinks Charlotte and Asuka are going to drop the titles and that Charlotte is going to turn on Asuka and go for the women's title. And that made sense. That's in her character. I mean, obviously she can get a tag team title, you know. just to patent her record. Now she can go towards being a 13-time champion. But anyway, I thought it was a good pay-per-view. I was really, really, really happy about it. Going to be watching Raw. I don't think I'm going to be doing a podcast, but I know I'll be doing one Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm a little excited because I'm going to try to watch NXT, but I know they're showing, the basketball game, so it's going to be hard for me to watch NXT. I'm going to watch AEW because I feel like AEW is something that's can't miss. I mean, they set the bar so high, so it's like, of course, every week is going to be like, they ain't going to perform up to that level every week, but I'm definitely going to watch AEW. I'm going to try to watch both if I can so I can do my podcast, but if not, I'll be back Thursday and Friday doing my podcast on both. Y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all. Have a good night.